You sure you want to come to court today?
Absolutely.
Well, why? You didn't attend yesterday.
Yes, I know, but this is different. I wouldn't miss today's for the world.
Because of Bobby?
Yes, I'm very concerned about her being a witness for the prosecution.
Yeah, it bothers me too.
Could she be so angry at Ginny about the gaslighting business that she won't tell the whole truth about Brock?
The whole truth?
You know what I mean. About his tendency for violence. Bobby's the only one who knows what he was capable of.
Bobby's in a difficult position, and she can handle it in in a couple of ways.
But the truth is the truth, Robert.
She could answer every question truthfully and still destroy Ginny's case.
How?
Well, the DA is going to ask Bobby to concentrate on, well, using your words, Brock's tendencies for violence.
Well, what would you call it?
I'm not testifying today. Bobby is. All she has to do is answer Morgan's questions cleanly, without embellishment, and she will aid his case against Ginny enormously.
How?
By carefully omitting any reference of Brock's hatred of Ginny. I mean, assuming, of course, that Bobby could recite many such incidents, which I'm sure she could if she wanted to.
But doesn't that fall into the category of lies of omission, if not commission?
But you see, considering what Ginny did to Bobby, I mean, if you were her, how would you feel?
I'd want Ginny to be punished, which I do anyway. But suppose Bobby does know of some incidences that could help clear Ginny.
Now, if the DA were to get involved in that line of questioning, which he wouldn't, Bobby would be obligated to answer the questions truthfully. But Morgan's not going to touch upon that area. I mean, well, whether Bobby chooses to bring up such incidents or not is really up to her own conscience.
What a bind.
Yeah, I hate the whole stinking mess. I mean, what Bobby's been through, what she's going to go through, what Rick's been through, what this case is going to do to Ginny, I mean, I'm beginning to think I don't really have the stomach for this line of work.
Listen to you. You might have the reputation on the street as being a tough cop, but I know the truth inside you just marshmallow.
Yeah, well, that'll be our little secret, huh?
Okay. My lips are sealed. Tough guy.
Well, you better be going.
Hope Bobby does the right thing.
Whatever that is.
Sorry, no. Excuse me. How does it feel being responsible for sending Jenny Blake to prison?
I wasn't aware the judge had brought down a verdict.
Oh, it's just a matter of time, isn't it? I mean, after he hears what Bobby Brock has to say.
I don't presume to second-guess the judiciary system, but then again, I'm not a member of the press.
What are you so touchy for? Your side's winning. Commissioner, you are a personal friend.
How do you think Bob Brock's testimony is going to be going today? Court will come to order, ladies and gentlemen, please. Court will come to order. Guys. Seated.
Mr. Morgan, you may resume the case for the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases the court, I'd like to request that the court clerk read back a brief passage from exhibit number 4. That is, the accused confession indicating the defendant took steps to assure Bobby Brock would be convicted of murdering her husband. Mrs. Brock, what is your profession?
I'm a nurse.
And for the record, your relationship with D.L. Brock?
He was my husband.
You are a nurse, an individual with considerable experience dealing with people under stress.
Objection.
Isn't it true that D.L. Brock's anger was directed solely at you, his wife, in large part because he suspected you were involved with another man? In other words, Mrs. Brock, wasn't your husband's rage inspired by domestic problems and therefore focused entirely on you? No.
In my opinion, as a wife and as a nurse, my husband was in a homicidal rage the night he died.
Yes, and he was mad at you, right?
DL was mad at the world. And I believe that anyone who showed up at the apartment that night would have been in danger.
Wait a minute.
All it would have taken is a seemingly harmless word or gesture to set him off. A complete stranger could have been his target. He was, in every sense of the word, primed to kill.
What?
I will have order.
Your Honor, I have given this whole matter a great deal of thought, and I know I'm under oath. Now, you want the truth, and that's exactly what I am giving you. Without a doubt, my husband was primed to kill that night. And I am convinced anyone who provoked him could easily have become a target. As a matter of fact, I was concerned about Terry as well as myself, and had I known that he was going to have another visitor that evening, I would have been frightened for her.
Thank you, Mrs. Brock. Your Honor, I am afraid that I must ask for an immediate recess. Your Honor, now I repeat my urgent request for a recess.
I was just about to suggest the same thing myself, Counselor. I wish to see you and Mr. Madison in my chambers immediately. Course recessed for 15 minutes.
All right.
You are great.
And you worried about Bobby's lust for revenge?
Well, you weren't sure what she'd say.
Never doubted it for a minute.
Well, I have to admit, from what she'd been saying, I did, but I was certainly very pleased to be proven wrong.
Bobby?
No, I have
You Spencers really come through in the clinches.
And you keep us guessing right to the last minute, don't you?
I learned from two masters, you and my brother.
This would have been perfect.
Thanks, Robert. All I did was tell the truth.
And that is the beauty of it. You were up there on that stand, you probably thought you were just doing what you had to. It was the only thing to do, right? Bless you for doing it. So, what do you think is happening in the judge's chamber?
All rise.
Let me begin by reminding this court that the state's rationale for holding trials is to serve justice, not to prosecute the innocent. In this spirit, the district attorney has asked me to make a motion. Mr. Morgan?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, the state would like to express its admiration for Mrs. Bobby Brock. A short while ago, she took that stand and proceeded to accomplish what, under the circumstances, had to be a most difficult task. She told the truth. Her testimony provided completely new information to the prosecution, and I dare say to the defense as well. Now, in light of this new evidence, and in recognition of Mrs. Brock's dedication to the truth, I move this court dismiss the murder charge against Jenny Brock.
Order. Order. This court applauds your motion, Counselor, and agrees with it wholeheartedly. I trust the defense has no objections? Not this time, Your Honor. Will the defendant please rise? Jenny Blake, I hereby dismiss the charge of murder 2 against you in the death of D.L. Brock. The court wishes to notice there are further charges pending. However, at this time, the defendant is free to go.
All right. Okay.
Comments on the actions of further charges? Jenny Blake's not off the hook yet. Let me be the first to congratulate you.
Fred, I don't believe it.
Believe it.
What about these other charges?
Don't worry about that for now. This was the major round, Jennings won it.
Lots of
I know that. Bobby. Thank you.
I don't know what to say, but thank you.
Thank me.
You saved me from going to prison. I don't know if I deserve that or not. But I want you to know that I am so sorry for what I tried to do.
Save it, okay? Save it. I didn't do it for you. What happened today has nothing to do with what's going on between us. I will never forgive you.
Then why give testimony to set me free?
Because it was the truth.
Well done, darling.
Fine. Oh, sweetheart. I still can't get over Bobby's performance.
Well, I knew she'd come through. You see, character is like water.
I've got a feeling I'm going to be awfully sorry if I ask why.
And under pressure, it invariably seeks its own level.
You make that one up yourself?
Well, I'll repeat it if you want to write it down. But today, Bobby showed everybody what she's made of.
Well, there's no question about that. You must be feeling better as well.
Me?
Yes, you were pretty down this morning. Remember you were saying how miserable everybody's been about Brock's killing? But something like this is going to ease the pain a lot.
Yeah, well, it clearly helps. This ordeal is going to affect a lot of people for a long, long time. I mean, the Webbers aren't going to forget this episode in a hurry. I guess they'll probably suffer more than Bobby will. At least she was given the advantage of being able to purge herself of any emotional hangover.
Do you think the Scorpios are going to be scarred by this?
Oh, terribly. Probably take them years to get over it.
Good.
Lifetime.
Good.
But as long as they've got one another, I'm sure they'll get by.
I hope Bobby finds someone.
Sure she will. A woman with her qualities isn't going to stay available for very long.